One thing I love to see is a Black woman being loved correctly and softly, right? And so in the spirit of Black History Month and Valentine season, we're going to talk about 8 romances that I think are just, What up, Search fam? Sade here. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Sade. I'm out here curating, co-creating a cool ass life. And frequently that's with me telling you about the books that I'm reading. And today we're going to talk about swoon-worthy Black romances. Now, whether this is your first time coming across my little corner of the internet or you keep coming back, have not subscribed, might I suggest you join my internet family, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and be made aware of every time I post videos, which is usually on the weekends. Now, one thing about me, I'm a lover girl, like deep down in my soul. Shh, don't tell nobody. But romance, she's my homegirl, right? And I have been a romance book girly forever. Probably at this point for well over 2 decades, because I was always into a good romance book. Like, I got a stack of Kamani romances that I have kept forever that I'm going to dive back into at some point. That's how long I've been at this. Anyway, one thing I love to see is a Black woman being loved correctly and softly, right? And so in the spirit of Black History Month and Valentine season, we're going to talk about 8 romances that I think are just, And some of them are my favorite, but some of them are just ones that made me go, yes, girl. Lord, I see what you're doing for others. Anyway, so here we go. I'm going to start with a book that I just finished. Like, when I say I just finished it, I just wrapped up the audiobook, and I have decided that I must own a physical copy, and I'm probably going to get a fancy physical copy. That is Between Lovers and Friends by Shirlene, and I forget how to pronounce her last name, so I'm not going to attempt today. But this was so good, and y'all will hear about this again on the February reading wrap-up. But oh my gosh, Malcolm Waters might be like a new addition to my book boyfriends, because what do you mean, sir? So this is about Dr. Josephine Boateng, who is a Ghanaian American doctor, but she is also a medical information influencer, and she's done that for a few years in place of doing a clinical position. And so she is very independent, very much has dealt with the stigma of being like a dark-skinned Black girl, especially in spaces like white spaces and things like that. And she's best friends with a billionaire actor named Ezra, and they've been friends since college, and she actually saves his life, which is how they become closer friends, and his family sort of adopts her. His mother loves her to pieces, and her mom, not great. That's a storyline. Right. And so she is at Ezra's mom's for one of her many soirees, benefits, and she walks in on Malcolm sitting in what's her bedroom at his parents' place. And Malcolm is a writer whose first book has taken off. He's like a fantasy romance writer, and he's introverted and a little anxious, and they meet. And they end up in this like romance, and Jo is dealing with the fact that she has feelings for Ezra that have never been reciprocated. And she's like, I need a break from you, child, because it's too much. And so she starts dating Malcolm, and Malcolm is so good to her. And Josephine is having to deal with her own cynicism and sort of letting Malcolm love her, as well as working through the intense, lack of reciprocation that she's gotten from Ezra. It's great. It's a great time, friends. Lovely. Now, we know that this is a Shon Stan account, so I'm gonna do these together. One, you've heard me talk about Seeing Red. This is a Little Red Riding Hood remix, and the female main character, I think her name is True. She goes to the small town here and to grieve her sister, the loss of her sister. And she ends up being neighbors to these two guys who actually live in the small town. And I just, yes, do it. Then you have the Kingstown Novellas, which was the first sort of set of stories that I read from Shon. And of course, I got the omnibus because I had such a great time. These men, yeah. Bash and Midnight are my favorites. Now, if you're not chaotic like me, the one that I would suggest as far as swoon worthy, because I'm a nerdy, bookish girl, right, is going to be yours. But if you are not chaotic like me, you can read all four, which are loosely interconnected standalones. And so like the characters come up over and over in the series, but I don't think you technically have to read them in order. But yours is my favorite out of the bunch. I'm gonna just say that. Now, I love the Brown Sisters collection. We know that Act Your Age Eve Brown is my favorite, but when we talk about Black women being cared for, Dani and Zafir, baby. Dani is a PhD student, and she is so smart, but she is also very cynical about love and relationships, and she's looking for a new friends with benefits. And so Zafir is her work friend, and he's surly and anxious, but also so sweet. And the way he loves our daddy, friend, yeah. Also, again, this is a Talia Hibbert stand account, so let's not do this. You know I wasn't gonna come before you and not talk about the fake boyfriend fiasco, because Nick Cousteau, Aria Granger, the way he talks to her and pursues her, oh God. And Aria too, black cat, very cynical, very witty. Yeah. And this is a plus size FMC. Also, Seeing Red is a plus size FMC as well. We should not be surprised here. We should not be surprised here because Rome, the way Rome doesn't play about Janelle. And the scene with if you're a book girly, again. And this one is not very, very long, right? So you can do this one. You can do the fake boyfriend fiasco pretty quickly. I will also say the audiobook for the fake boyfriend fiasco. Trust me on this. Just trust me on this, friend. Now, I also just finished this audiobook, and this is a reread for me, and that is Rebekah Weatherspoon's Rafe. Rafe is a nanny who finished his last assignment with a family that he'd been working with for like 5-6 years, and they decided to move to Australia, and he decided not to go with them. So Rafe is trying to figure out what his life pivot is when he gets a call that a single mom of twin girls needs a nanny quick, fast, and in a hurry because her nanny just split on the kids. And so he meets up with Dr. Shon Copeland, who is a young wonder kid, heart surgeon with her 6-year-old twins, and sparks fly. Okay. Finally, because I had to figure out the sun is sunning, and we're not mad at it. But finally, we got What If I Love You by Yvonne Marie, and I don't hear this book talked about enough in the digital streets, and I don't like it. So this is about Knox and Renee, who are best friends, former business partners, and Knox goes away from the business. Renee is an autistic black woman who is trying to prove that she can run the business by herself, and she thinks through her struggles and things like that. Knox comes back, and he comes back and he's like, I've always loved you, and I just got to prove to you that I love you, and that you gonna take me seriously, girl. Just, yeah, go ahead, friend. Pick it up. Now, what y'all reading? Y'all read anything for the Valentine season? Let me know down in the downstairs area. or the comment section. And as always, friends, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend about the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.